The sun blistered the horizon, a swollen orange eye that refused to blink. Heat shimmered off the asphalt, turning the air into a wavering mirage. The van rattled down the lonely Texas highway, coughing exhaust like an old smoker. Inside, laughter and music tried to drown out the silence of the barren fields stretching endlessly on both sides. 5 passengers young, restless, oblivious were wedged inside. Their chatter rose above the rumble of the van, but it felt small, fragile, against the endless plains that swallowed Soundhole. From above, the road was a scar slashed across the earth, leading nowhere. By dusk, the van sputtered, choking as the gas needle kissed empty. The driver cursed under his breath, coasting them to the side of the road where a crooked mailbox leaned, its paint blistered off long ago. Beyond it, at the end of a dirt path, stood a farmhouse. The structure sagged like it wanted to collapse. The boards warped, the windows black pits. A windmill turned slowly beside it, moaning with every tired rotation. No lights, no cars, just that lonely, rotting house. They got out, gravel crunched, the heat still clung to the air, thick and oppressive. The first to reach the porch was a tall boy with sun-bleached hair. The wooden boards whined under his boots. He knocked, silence. The door creaked open at his push, revealing a hallway swallowed in shadow. The wallpaper peeled in strips, exposing raw boards beneath. The smell rolled out first sour meat, coppery blood, and mold. A stench thick enough to coat the throat. The group hesitated, but curiosity shoved them forward. Inside, bones hung from the ceiling, strung together like macabre ornaments. Feathers, teeth, bits of fur, and sinew dangled, spinning lazily. A table sat against the wall, piled with things that should never decorate a home. Skulls cut cleanly in half, ribs stacked like firewood, a lampshade stitched from skin. One of the girls gagged, her hand and flew to her mouth. From the end of the hall came a metallic grind. Something heavy dragged across the floor. The sound grew louder, closer, and then he appeared. A massive figure filled the doorway. His face was a crude mask of sewn skin, fresh stitches dark with dried blood. An apron, slick and glistening, clung to his chest. And his hands, the chainsaw, its jagged teeth gleamed even in the dim light. The silence broke with its roar. The saw came to life in a thunderous growl that rattled the walls. The blond boy barely had time to scream before the chainsaw ripped into his stomach. Blood sprayed across the wallpaper in a hot mist, painting peeling flowers crimson. His body convulsed as the blade chewed through him, flesh tearing, ribs splintering. The others shrieked, stumbling backward, slipping in the blood that poured onto the floorboards. The saw revved louder. Hungry, chaos exploded. One girl bolted toward the door, her shoes skidding on the slick floor. She slipped, slammed shoulder first into the wall, and before she could recover, the killer was on her. He swung the chainsaw upward in a brutal arc, cleaving from collarbone to sternum. Her body split open like a butchered hog, guts spilling out in a steaming heap. She collapsed, twitching, her blood soaking into the cracks of the wood. The others scattered, scrambling for any exit. A boy in a denim jacket darted into the kitchen, heart pounding so loud he couldn't hear his own breath. The kitchen was worse. Hooks dangled from the ceiling, meat slabs human, unmistakable swayed gently. Pots boiled on the stove, the smell of cooked flesh thick and greasy. Something wet dripped onto his shoulder. He looked up, half a torso swung above him, strung by a meat hook, its entrails hanging like ribbons. He vomited as footsteps thundered behind him. The saw screamed again, ripping the silence apart. He tried to run, but the killer's free hand snatched him by the hair. With one brutal swing, the saw carved across his back, shredding skin and muscle, splattering blood onto the stove. The boy's scream dissolved into a gurgle as the killer slammed him onto a hook, his body writhing like a speared animal. The last girl stumbled down a narrow set of stairs into the basement. Darkness swallowed her as she fumbled for footing. The air was damp, heavy with the smell of rot. A single bulb flickered overhead, casting light on what lay below. Tables, rows of them, each covered with corpses in various stages of butchery. Limbs sawed clean, torsos split open, organs piled in buckets. Faces peeled off like masks, hanging from nails in the wall. She gagged, bile burning her throat. Her foot hit something soft, it squelched. Looking down, she saw a severed arm, fingers curled in rigor mortis. The chainsaw's growl filled the basement. The bulb flickered again, and then he was there, descending the stairs, the saw roaring like an animal scenting prey. She screamed, stumbling backward, tripping over a mound of rib cages. He charged, swinging. The blade kissed her thigh, tearing a gaping wound that sprayed blood onto the concrete. She crawled, dragging herself through the gore, sobbing, slipping in the viscera. The chainsaw lifted again. Outside, the night swallowed the van parked silent on the road. The windmill groaned in the dark, cicadas buzzing in the fields. Then came the screamer raw, animal sound that split the night in two. It ended suddenly, choked off, leaving only the growl of the saw. The farmhouse stood quiet again, but the walls dripped fresh with red. Inside, the butcher worked, his saw never sleeping, his mask forever grinning. And out on the empty road, the dust settled, erasing the last trace of the ones who came to close.